How's it going, everybody? Let's continue on in Thessalonians that we just started yesterday. By the way, you want to start this playlist from the beginning because yesterday's study was one of the best, if not the best, that we ever did. It's 38 minutes long, and I need to put that into the playlist. That is special deep studies. Yeah, I need to add that to that playlist. So anytime you want to check out just that playlist, feel free. But you want to start this playlist from the beginning instead of clicking videos. You want to click playlist, and there's First Thessalonians. It's only got one video. We started it yesterday. But boy, was that a great Bible study. You'll learn about the whole Word of God in that study. All right, let's continue. We'll continue to try it in the King James. For from you sounded out the word of the Lord, not only in Macedonia and Achaia, I don't know how you pronounce that, but also in every place, your faith to Godward is spread abroad, so that we need not speak anything. And of course, yesterday we explained what proper faith is. Let's read it in the New Living and see if it's easier, smoother. We might just stay here. If we run into something that doesn't sound right in this translation, which is not as strong as the King James in truth, but sometimes it's more plainly, the truth is more plainly stated in the New Living, believe it or not. And like Romans 9:16 that tells you there's no free will. It's more plainly stated in the New Living. But it gives us context of what the passage is about. When it's easier to read, if something doesn't sound right, then we'll go to the King James. And if things are still difficult to work out, then we take it to the Greek definitions. Anyway, and now the word of the Lord is ringing out from you to people everywhere, even beyond Macedonia and Achaia. Wherever we go, we find people telling us about your faith in God, which is the proper call and the proper walk. We don't need to tell them about it, for they keep talking about the wonderful welcome you gave us and how you turned away from idols to serve the living and true God. And they speak of how you are looking forward to the coming of God's Son from heaven, Jesus, whom God raised from the dead. He is the one who has rescued us from the terrors of the coming judgment. Judgment, that's when all the goats will encompass the camp of the saints. They will surround the saints. They will be weeping and gnashing their teeth, and then the flame comes down and devours them. God has to wipe away all our tears because we witness it. We will see our loved ones being judged. They will see us being loved and that they weren't. And that's why God has to wipe away all our tears. You yourselves know, dear brothers and sisters, that our visit to you was not a failure. You know how badly we had been treated in Philippi just before we came to you, and how much we suffered there. Yet our God gave us the courage to declare his good news to you boldly. In spite of, in spite of great opposition. So you can see we were not preaching with any deceit or impure motives or trickery. For we speak as messengers approved by God to be entrusted with the good news. Our purpose is to please God, not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you, that it was not in vain. But even after that we had suffered before and were shamefully entreated, as you know, at Philippi. We were bold in our God to speak unto you the gospel of God with much contention, for our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanliness, nor in guile, but as we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God which trieth our hearts. All right, let's move on to Daniel 7, and we will stay in 7 today. Yes, here we go. Yeah, because we just started it. And four great beasts come up out of the sea, diverse from one another. The first one was like a lion with eagle's wings, and I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second like unto a bear, and it raised up itself. By the way, this is the Antichrist horn of Daniel 7, as we are in Daniel 7. So we get to the Antichrist later on, and the description of the Antichrist in Daniel 7. Excuse me. Again, 7:21 and Daniel 7:25. And behold, another beast, a second like unto a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in its mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon its back of it four wings of a fowl. The beast also had four heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. It had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake into pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. It had 10 horns. And I considered the horns, and behold, there came up three among them, another little horn. That's the Antichrist. So the Antichrist is coming from this iron beast. It had the iron teeth, and the iron is the technology. Okay. Machinery, technology, specifically also the computer in the computer age. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, which is the Antichrist. It's known as the little horn of Daniel 7, before whom there were three up. Can y'all hear my washer spinning? Sorry about that. Before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And we know everything that comes out of his mouth is great. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days. Now everything in yellow is when God wins. So now, and it bounces back and forth to the Antichrist, then God winning. Antichrist, God winning. So we go from the Antichrist had eyes and a mouth speaking great things to I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was, excuse me, as pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. I'm glad y'all are here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.